to get demons up out of me. Turn to a beast, hit your arteries. Deceasing opponents so properly. Unleashing the dark side, what got to me. We come to take this shit over. Foot on the gas, hit a motor. Switching my thoughts, I'm bipolar. I stare in the eyes of a cobra. Say you won't smoke, come get it. You wanna play dumb, I'm with it. I'm about to take over the city. I came with my committed gang with it. Came for the bag and the profit. Looking for the wave when we got it. Nigga, you ain't scared nobody. Bah, bah, that's a whole body. Bah.
On the dark side, it can get cold, it's a cold case. In my right mind, I can ride till I roll race. Still a 10 on my left wrist, in that soul place. On my knees, thanking God, they done got me through the pain. Danger, I don't fit in, I'm a stranger. Believe, I can take out all the evil. Empowerment to all my people. I can prove to you I'm a leader. Run through the money, no visa. Forgive me, cause my life illegal.
Searching for the bag and the prize. On a mission looking for them bad guys. Can't run no player, but my head I'm real wise. Look at his eyes wide, thinking traumatized. Take me as a joke, I'ma hang him on the road. Cause where I'm from, we don't play like that on the outside. Better not free, cause we know you gon' joke. Talk behind my back, but your shots backfire. I know you tried, but you never could survive. I see the fear that's in your eyes. Run like forest, they tryna hide. They criticize in the skies. They know I can only tell the truth. They know all you do is tell lies. I'm about to take over the city, tell me use you with it, cause I know my squad gon' ride.
On the dark side, it can get cold, it's a cold case. In my right mind, I can ride till I roll race. Still a 10 on my left wrist, in that soul place.
Brian Hill remains the back at a 3rd and 8 chance for the Panthers.
He got me through the pain.
Jackson does a great job of getting it.
I don't fit in, I'm a stranger. Believe, I can take out all the evil. Empowerment to all my people. I can prove to you I'm a leader. Run through the money, no visa. Forgive me, cause my life illegal.
Come on, say you want smoke, come get it. You wanna play dumb, I'm with it. Looking for the wave when we got it. For the wave when we got it. That's a whole body.
Danger. I don't fit in, I'm a stranger. Believer. I can take out all the evil. Empowerment to all my people. I can prove to you I'm a leader. Run through the money, no visa. Forgive me, cause my life illegal.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to What the Game Means to Me. Give me a second. I don't know why my camera looking like this. Give me 1 second. Ooh. I don't know why it's looking like that. All right. Back to the screen. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, folks. My fault. I don't know why my camera's not working right now, but appreciate y'all for tuning in for another Atlanta Falcons fly through. Today is the season finale. We're just gonna talk about things that pretty much going on, what's happening. The Atlanta Falcons season end. I put another video together for y'all. If y'all don't want to stay, I know y'all just watched a long one, but pretty much this is how our season went. And I just want everybody to kind of relive it. If you're a Falcons fan, close your eyes. If you're anybody else, I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. So just, I guess, enjoy. What's going on, Steven? Appreciate you for tuning in, bro. So it started off with Dallas, of course. 0-2 for the year. Inexcusable. Next week is Chicago. Three straight touchdowns with Nick Foles coming in. He didn't even start the game. Only started the second half. Crazy. And then we throw a pick to seal the game. Then we have the accidental touchdown. I know, man. Appreciate it, Steve. I know it's like everyone else probably enjoying it. I'm just reliving bad memories, but it's okay. New year, new us. We'll be turning the page in a few months. Sad. 3 straight passing throws. Under a minute left. This one's on the defense. You're right, Steven. We talked about this. I think I actually had you on here. You're supposed to score. You're never not supposed to score. That's what I just said. This one's definitely on the defense. There's no way you should allow Stafford with no touchdown, or my fault, no timeouts, march down the field and score a touchdown, or not score a touchdown and then the field goal to end the game. And I appreciate it. You always have been there, man, and you always will be. Seems like. This was a hilarious game. Looks like we were moving the ball a little bit. Nope. Another interception. Back to back. Finding ways to lose. Then we let a rookie march down the field on us. Defense is terrible. Another lost game on another field goal where a team marches down the field on us. This one I saw coming from a mile away. It's okay. I'm honestly okay with this one. That's all you really can say. That's literally all you can say. There's not much else that we can do. That's actually a great defensive play. They made a lot of good defensive plays that game. Clutch kick. We'll be talking about him a little bit later on in the show, but Clutch, the clutchest player that we've had, I think, all year. Besides the Kansas City game. Drop ball. Way to stretch out, but you got to bring that one in. Comeback complete. No wait for us to come back. Another sack. All game, all second half. Did we convert? Nope. Sorry. That's game. Only included this because refs, y'all gotta do y'all jobs. Gotta catch that. As a Falcons fan, I knew we don't catch the interception. We give a team like that another opportunity. And this is what happens right here. Our Pro Bowl kicker should get us to the OT. Nope. And 2021, please be better to us. Please. We're not gonna play that again. I don't know why that even came up again. But yeah, 9 minutes of just cruelty that I put myself through and put you guys through as well. I probably put myself through more of it because I had to actually put the video together. But yeah, man, that sums up 2020. That sums up our season. That sums up everything that was going on. I don't think most teams could find, I guess, 9-10 minutes of bloopers that caused them the game, and caused us multiple games, as y'all can see, to multiple opponents. And if we'd had those wins, never know where we could be. Possibly playoffs, maybe not. Who knows? 79 Bears are able to get there. Maybe we tack on a few. We're able to get there as well. But next thing I just wanted to move on. I got up here the 2020-21 schedule. I just wanted to relive, I guess, what I thought was going to be a great season by my Atlanta Falcons. I remember I put out predictions earlier in the year, and I thought three teams from the NFC South were actually going to go to the playoffs. One being my Falcons, the other being the Bucs and the Saints. 2 of the 3 got there. 2 of the 3 had decent seasons. My team was the one that lacked. My prediction to begin was 11-5. I said we were going to get wins against the Cowboys, Bears, both wins against the Panthers. I just didn't see them, being able to make up for how much turnover they had in their organization to get a win off of us. Even though it's a division game, they typically play close. Vikings, Lions, Broncos, Saints, Raiders, Chargers, and Bucs. I felt we were going to split with the Saints and Bucs because typically those are always competitive games. And then our losses would come against Seattle, the Packers, Saints, Chiefs, and Bucs. We did have losses against all those teams that I put up there, so at least I got that part of the predictions right. But got a little bit more losses than I was expecting. I think it's cut off a little bit, but we're gonna go to the actual result. The result was 4-2 or 4-12. My fault. Unfortunately, we ended off the season losing last 5 games. Our wins came from the Vikings, Carolina, Panthers, Broncos, and Raiders. Losses in heartbreaking fashion: the Cowboys, another loss in heartbreaking fashion; the Bears, Panthers, Packers, another heartbreaker; the Lions, Saints both times, Bucs both times. I know it's not pictured. Chargers as well in heartbreaking fashion, and the Chiefs in a little bit of heartbreaking fashion. Kind of saw it coming, but Young Wickle was good all year, and him to miss the field goal the way he did, y'all saw it in the video. Looked like it was dead down the middle. Looked like it was going in, then all of a sudden just woof to the side. Misses it. It's okay. I guess he still got the Pro Bowl name, Pro Bowl player. And we'll talk about him a little later on the show. But yeah, just to kind of give y'all a snap shot view of what I thought was going to happen, what actually happened. Big difference, crazy difference. So not hoping we do the same thing and repeat next year. I think we have the AFC East and the NFC East next year, so we're gonna be playing some of these same teams, but also a lot of teams that actually got to the playoffs this year as well. So it's gonna maybe be another gauntlet of a season. But we're gonna move on. Talk about Arthur Blank a little bit. He actually surprised me with this quote. He's been talking a little bit in the media. Obviously, we're in search of a head coach, a GM. We'll be talking about that in a second as well. But Arthur Blank has been interviewed in the media, and he said some surprising things. I think not only to Falcons fans, but just reporters in general. So he's typically real quiet, high on the guys that's in our staff. Typically doesn't talk down or talk badly about too many people that's within our organization. But this quote came directly from him. He said, I think yesterday the team is better than a 4-12 record, which I agree as well. And I think most people's eyes could see that it's just something's wrong with us and not being able to finish games. But the team is better than a 4-12 record, but it's probably not better than a 7-9, 8-8, and that puts us back where we were in the last 2 years. I think he's kind of talking around Super Bowl after we lost the Super Bowl 2017, 2018. So we can't fool ourselves there. Very great point. Like I said, a lot of people were surprised about that, but he also said, and my logo is kind of covering it, but he said some veteran players are not going to be with us in the foreseeable future, which was very, very interesting to me. Very interesting to see that because, like I said, he's typically really high on the guys that we have in our organization. He's given a lot of guys money. He gave Debo money, Rico money, Grady Jarrett money. He likes the guys that we have on our team, likes the guys that we bring into our organization. So to hear him say, some veteran players might not be with us in the future was very, alarming, but kind of promising as well. There was a few guys I didn't think that should really be with us coming into this year. We got rid of Tack. Thank God. Didn't re-sign Beasley. Thank God. And yeah, we just got to do more makeover, probably on both sides of the ball, but definitely on the defensive side of the ball. I guess to kind of speak to this quote, the guys that I think that probably aren't going to be with us next year is Rico. I think we're going to have to move on from safety with Casey coming back, hopefully healthy and better. Also drafted Jalen Hawkins, who has a few games. He had some playing time and did decent as well. They'll probably look for safety in the draft or maybe get a cheap veteran one as well. But Rico's one guy I don't think they may bring back. Tyler Davidson on the defensive line, I don't think they bring him back. Hopefully with Marlon Davidson getting a full year, one being healthy in a full year of training camp and all that, he should take over, if not the starting other D lineman role, then a good rotational piece, good rotational role behind Grady as well. Also kind of depends on, I guess, what defense will run with the new head coach and regime coming in. But he's another one I don't think to expect to come back. Maybe they even look to trade a few people. I don't know. Keanu Neal actually played really well this year, in my opinion. Sometimes was out of position, but that's our whole defense. And then also he actually had a healthy season. He was able to complete the season. I believe he played all 16 games. If not, he maybe missed one. So hopefully we're able to bring him back cheap on a discount somehow, some way. I think there probably will be some suitors for him. He's a hard-hitting safety that, a lot of people like. So maybe he goes elsewhere. I don't know if that's one of the guys he may be thinking of not possibly resigning because we didn't pick up anything outside of a fifth-year option. So I don't know. I'm hoping we're able to bring him back. I do like Keanu a lot. He anchors that defense in the secondary, and I believe with another year under his leadership, with those guys like AJ Terrell, some other guys I'm going to mention later, they could be able to grow and be a lot better than they were this year, next year. So maybe that's another guy we may bring back, we may not bring back. We just signed Dante Fowler. I'm actually a Dante Fowler guy. I'm a Florida Gator guy. I believe in him. I think we did give him a little bit too much money, but he can't be a primary rusher. He came out of a system where he benefited from Aaron Donald, and those other guys that was on that defensive line that opened things up for him. So he can't be a main pass rush guy. And I feel like, they should have known that before they signed him. So we definitely need some defensive line help, which I think will come in the draft. Hopefully we draft Greg Rousseau from Miami that sat out this year, or maybe we bring in another, bigger, strong, fast, defensive end. But, him being a primary rusher, that's not going to work. And that's why his numbers look the way they look this year. And Allen Bailey is probably another guy we probably won't bring back. We gave him a lot of money. He hasn't really done much in the 2 years he's been with us. So those are the guys I'm thinking he's probably talking about when he's saying we're not bringing veteran players back this upcoming year, which I'm all for and I agree with. Let the younger guys play. If we're in rebuild mode, let them play, build up kind of like their skill set and everything. Let's move forward with a new regime on defense. But yeah, like overall, I just wanted to point this out just because it was interesting to me and a lot of people in the media just to hear him say this. Just real quick, just wanted to throw it out there. Matt Schauber's tiring. Congrats to him. He started his career with us, ended his career with us. Somebody's on Twitter, it was a robbery he committed because he earned $94.4 million over his career. And a lot of it was in being a backup in a backup role. So really interesting to see that. Like I said, congrats to Matt. He had to step in for us. I don't know why my camera's acting like this, but he had to step in for us a few games last year when Ryan was out. So congrats. Enjoy retirement. Enjoy that money that you earned in the pine. And congratulations on making it out healthy. Next thing I want to hit on real quick, talk about head coach tracking. We're going to talk about the head coach and head coach tracker, and then also GMs as well. I already kind of did a show on this. I did like a yes, no, maybe. Had these guys kind of in there, whether I wanted them or not. For the sake of this, I'll do it again. I said yes. I gave yeses to Bieniemy and Saleh. I said no to Joe Brady, and I said maybe to Raheem Morris. And I'll kind of go through each individual candidate and why. So real quick, Eric Bieniemy and Robert Saleh, we both interviewed them virtually. I believe they completed them today. If not today, it was yesterday. I'm not too sure how the interviews went. I haven't got any word on that yet. I haven't read anything what the reporters are saying just yet, but we did complete interviews with both of those guys, and they requested, I believe, either today or yesterday to speak to Joe Brady. I'm a high no on Joe Brady. I just feel like he's moving up the ranks too quick. I know young OCs or offensive geniuses are what people are looking for, what people like. That's kind of what I guess the coaching angle is headed towards nowadays, and at least the past 2-3 years. But for me, I'm just like a no on it. Like I said, I don't like super young coaches moving up the ranks so quickly. He just came off of LSU where, they had a tremendous season. All their offensive weapons had a tremendous season, as y'all can see. But the pieces that were in place, that's kind of predicated on why his offense did so well. You see him transfer over to Carolina, even though he was without CMC most of the year. He just got new pieces, and obviously the quarterback, Bridgewater, and then Robbie Anderson, those guys coming down. But still, if you see what they did pretty much throughout the whole year, at a point they was kind of middle of the road, but I think they ended the year not that, obviously not that great. They went on a losing streak as well. I don't think they won any of their last 4 or 5 games. And then, like I said, their offense is just middle of the road. Nothing that really, stuck out too much. Besides Robbie Anderson having a great year overall over there. A lot of people thought he was just a speedy guy, but when, in his system, they saw they can use him. He can run the route tree. He can do different things in the passing game. So outside of that, it's like, what else did he really do? What else did he bring to the table? What did he show that's so outstanding to where he should be, getting head coaching looks? And Raheem Morris, I said maybe, just because I'm really high on, obviously African-American head coaches. I feel like that needs to, change. They need to be getting more looks and more jobs in the NFL in general. Not hand-me-outs, but obviously he's had some experience being a head coach in Tampa. He's been with us, past 3-4 years on the defensive side, defensive coordinator, and has moved around the offensive side as well. He's as we've seen with the last few games, he had the team playing a lot better. Obviously we still have some faults. We still have some blunders, as y'all saw in the videos. We let a lot of games slip away, but he's a player style coach that's going to hold you more accountable than I thought Dan Quinn would or did. He called a few guys out in the media, and that next game we saw them have tremendous games, a lot better games than what they had been playing. And the guys, respect them, and they owned up to it as well. And like I said, came out and played a lot better. So I feel like because I think with him, it was kind of, friction between him and offensive coordinator Dirk Cutter, which I'm so glad. Like I said, the last game happened Sunday. I'm so glad. He should have been out the door 5 minutes after that game was over. I'm happy we no longer have to hear anything about Dirk Cutter and Atlanta Falcons organization ever again. I'm hoping so. But I feel like if he was able to bring it, basically, I feel like if Raheem was able to bring in his guys, especially on the offensive side, somebody that he likes, this team probably that offensive side of the ball and the team in general just looks totally different and totally better. That's why he's a maybe for me, but more than likely, probably has to bounce as well. I've said it so many times in the show, any remnants of Dan Quinn and his coaching tree, anything of that era, the brotherhood, all that just has to go, unfortunately. And he was a part of that. So him, Olbrich, all those guys that I'm liking and love to see the energy that they brought to the team and just the overall change. Unfortunately, they have to go. So that's why he's kind of on the maybe track for me. Steven brought up Bowles. I don't know. I think I've seen his name. I don't know if we're looking to hire him or not, or going to interview him. It would be interesting to see. I feel like he didn't get the fairest of shakes when he was with the Jets, and he's done a great job in Tampa Bay, like extreme job in Tampa Bay with that defense, especially with the guys. One of the guys that they brought in and drafted, I really like their defense as a whole. Their linebackers can pretty much do everything, rush the passer, drop back in coverage. Their speed guys, they can, they get active in the backfield, everything. Their secondary, they take a lot of chances, but they're really sound and skilled. And as y'all saw a little bit in that video, if they weren't as sound and skilled as they were at times, there was a few of those passes that Matt threw that could have ended up being touchdowns in the first matchup that we probably would end up winning if they weren't able to get to that ball. They knocked down about 2 or 3 for sure touchdowns. So, like I said, their secondary takes a lot of chances, but they're in the right position when they need to be. And overall, I just like what Todd Bowles has done with that defense. So I think he does need another shot at a head coaching gig. I don't know if we're interviewing him or not. More than likely, I'll probably, see or get the news maybe in a day or two. I think I saw him on the list of the head coach tracking, but yeah, I think I would be all for it. I think with him, like I said, didn't really get that fair of a shake in New York, but I think we have pieces that he can work with, just like the Bucs did. He can transfer our defense, which I don't know. A lot of people that I've seen in Falcon groups, they're kind of iffy about if we should go defensive route again. A lot of people, like I said, kind of want that young offensive coordinator, want to go that route, and then maybe bring in like a veteran, defensive coordinator or someone that, like that's been around, like a Wade Phillips, something like that, to kind of anchor the defensive part. But like Steven just said, he knows the division, and that's key as a whole. That's why, 2 years ago we brought in guys from Tampa Bay, which, like I say, Raheem and Dirk Cutter, they knew the division, but I guess knowing the division, but also like bringing in your own style of play and being able to, work off of that as well. Like Dirk Cutter didn't do that, so we need somebody. I don't know if we just need fresh eyes that doesn't really care about the division too much, or it comes from the division, or if we need somebody that's just that's willing to adjust to the way the game is being played today, which Dirk Cutter wasn't able to do. So yeah, that's the head coaching tracker for the day. And overall, next we're going to move on to the GM. Kind of a short list. I got actually, right before I came on, there was a little bit of news that popped up. So the guys that we already interviewed was Anthony Robinson. He's been with our organization, I think since 08, 09. I talked about it a little bit in a different show as well. Rick Smith, who a lot of guys are high on, a lot of people are high on. Everybody wants him to kind of come in and anchor our GM position. He's obviously drafted a lot of good guys when he was with Houston Texans, and I think a lot of the people are kind of putting the blame and faults for everything that's happening in that organization more on Bill O'Brien. So a lot of people want him to have another shot, and I think a lot of people in Atlanta want him as our GM, to be honest. And right before I came on, I believe they had completed an interview with Brad Holmes, who's been in the Rams organization for damn near like 20 years. So I don't even know if he's really wanting to make a move or looking to make a move. To be honest, he's, like I said, just been with that organization for so long. Maybe he's just looking for greener pastures, looking for a raise, a promotion, and just looking to move on. But like I said, he's been with the Rams for like 16, 17 years. So I don't know if that's like truly in his in his plans. But we interviewed him, completed an interview right before I came on. We also completed an interview. There's 3 new guys names that popped up. I don't know too much about them, but I do know all 3 of these guys would be first time GMs. But Morocco Brown, he's been with the Indianapolis Colts for 5 years. He has 20 years of just, I guess, college scouting and just NFL experience overall. I Indianapolis Colts, they've done really well in the past few drafts. Their defense has been a top defense pretty much all year long this year. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like I said, they just completed an interview with him right before I came on. The other 2 names that are swirling around that they're probably going to interview within the next few days is George Patton. He's an assistant general manager with the Minnesota Vikings, and Joe Schoen, assistant general manager for the Buffalo Bills. So, he took over that position in 2017. So, like I said, don't know too much about all of these guys. We have to do a little bit more research, but I do know all of these guys would be first-time GMs. And Morocco Brown would be he's the minority of the 3. So, I think with Atlanta, I think they are going to try to hire minority guys and put those in those positions, head coach and GM. So, which would be interesting to see. And I think something that would resonate with the city and obviously with the NFL as a whole. So Steven said Atlanta may be his dream spot. It could be. I think I saw or read something. I don't know if he used to live here, stayed here, or if he used to work with the organization here. I feel like it was the Atlanta dream. It was something that he had a tie or connection with Atlanta. So like you said, it could be his dream spot. Brown might be good coming from Indy. Like you said, yes, for sure. Because like I said, they've had a lot of good past drafts. Like I said, they've been top defense all year. And, I wouldn't be opposed to, like I said, he's the minority out of the group. And I'm surprised Lou Rizzo. I don't know. Like, he's been on the tracker. He's been in talks, but they haven't interviewed him yet. They haven't gotten to that point. I don't know if he's going to be somebody that they're targeting and interviewing. From what I'm seeing, it seems like they're looking to hire, a GM and head coach pretty quickly. They've interviewed more head coaches than GMs so far, though. So I don't know if they're looking to get the coach first and then kind of look at GMs and match it that way, or if I do know I saw somewhere that Louis Riddick is I think I talked about it on the show with Greg, but Louis Riddick I think has a guy in mind or kind of wants to be paired with a specific head coach that he feels like should have a shot at a head coaching position. So, and I don't know if it's Eric Bieniemy or somebody else, but I think that's maybe why they haven't talked to him yet. But he could still obviously be in the running for a candidate position. So, a few more days. I don't know when they're looking to specifically hire the head coach or GM, or if they're trying to hire one before the other. But I like that they have a sense of urgency and have already been interviewing guys even right before our last game and even days after our last game. So it's been pretty cool to see. But to kind of end off the show, well, the second thing that I'm going to talk about before ending off the show, I got the idea from my Atlanta Falcon UK guys, so shout out to them for sure. Been on a few of their shows, looking forward to having them on mine as well, probably next year, because I'm probably done talking about the Falcons after today. And but basically, they're going to do an Atlanta Falcons Player of the Year award show. It's unofficial right now, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have it. More than likely, I will try my best to be on it. But like I said, I got the idea from them, so definitely wanted to hand out some end of the year awards for a crazy 2020 year that unfortunately happened. So we'll start off with our MVP, and with this MVP, you can kind of already tell the direction our team and our season even went in general. If your kicker is your MVP, more than likely you probably didn't have the greatest of years. So for the my MVP for the Atlanta Falcons for 2020 season is Younghoe Koo. 37 for 39 field goals made, 94.9% is the number that he made that at, obviously 37, 39. He was 8 for 8 from 50 plus. His long was 54. I believe at a point he had the highest total points scored for us on our team. Most of the time I think kickers would, but I think the extremity was great. It was really, really great from the next person down. So 144 points total scored for us, and he also made the Pro Bowl for the first time. So congrats to you, Younghoe Koo. MVP for me of the Atlanta Falcons this year, and probably a lot of other people as well. If it wasn't for him and his kicking, we wouldn't have been in a lot of the games that we was even in. Like, literally the Saints game, it would have been 24-0 if he didn't make the 3 field goals that he kicked. But that also says a lot about our offense. We got to start scoring more touchdowns, having red zone woes, or, drives just stalling in general. But next, my defensive player of the year, Grady Jarrett, another solid guy, solid pick. Anchors our defense on the defensive line. Stats for the year: 52 tackles, 27 were solos, 4 sacks. These numbers probably don't pop out to anybody in particular, but he does affect pretty much plays, even if he's not, getting these specific numbers: tackles, solo, sacks, or whatever the case may be. 1 forced fumble, and also a Pro Bowler. Again, 2 times last year and this year. So defensive player of the year, Grady Jarrett. Congrats to you. For my offense or player of the year, got Calvin Ridley. Really high on him. I keep patting myself on the back. It's probably the only good thing I've done that was Falcons related this year in the football season. But I went out and drafted him in fantasy in a spot that I probably could have drafted somebody else before I got him. But I knew he was going to have a big year. I'd been hearing everything he was talking about in training camp. Just his mindset coming into the season. He already said he knows he's a 1,000-yard receiver. He probably should have had 1,000 yards last year, but he knew he was going to get it this year. That was one of his big goals. He surpassed it, and he balled out. He played, especially in the games that Julio didn't dress out. So he showed he can be a number 1 receiver, number 1 guy, and he can be a big time threat for us. But his numbers: 90 yards, receptions, tied for 13th in the league, 1,374 yards, tied 5th in the league, 9 TDs scored, 10th in the league. And he averaged 15.3 yards a catch, that tied for 13 as well. And I put Pro Bowl snub because I thought he should have been a Pro Bowler. A lot of other people thought he should have been a Pro Bowler. I don't know if it's just me being a Falcons fan, but I feel like he was snubbed for sure, especially when they came out who was in the Pro Bowl. Like, I knew he probably at that time wasn't going to get it over D-Hop. He wasn't getting over Devontae Adams. And I forgot the other receiver. But Jefferson was the guy specifically I felt he should have got it over. I know Jefferson's a little bit more on the social media side. A lot of people, love the gritty dance, know him from the LSU days. He's just more of a face, younger face, especially too, for younger guys, younger people. And that could have had an effect on the fan voting aspect of everything. Calvin Ridley is just a quiet guy. Comes in, does his work, goes home. Just like Julio, they don't really say much. They don't do much. They're not really in the social media world too much. So I felt like he got snubbed a little bit. I can understand why they gave it to Jefferson. He had a big year, surpassed Randy Moss's most yards for a rookie. Came on really, really strong after their bye week. And like I said, I can understand why they gave it to him, but still felt like Calvin really deserves a little bit of love, a little bit of flowers. So that's my offensive player of the year. My special team player of the year, not going to go through it again. Younghoe Koo. Feel like this is, easy. There shouldn't be any questions about this one. Congrats again for making or getting 2 awards from me. The next one is Rookie Player of the Year. And I gave it to AJ Terrell, who played tremendous, especially down the stretch. I gave it to him mainly because I was so hard on him when we drafted him. I just didn't like it or understand the pick at all. But I really want to give a special shout out. I really could have gave it to Mykal Walker, who actually right before I got on, he was awarded all rookie defense for the PFF rankings. Him and AJ Terrell had been up there ranking pretty high in the rookie rankings all year long, especially on the defensive side. But I definitely wanted to make sure I shout out Mykal Walker. I knew right when we drafted him, for some reason, I was like, he's going to be a difference maker somehow, some way, especially in his first year. So I don't have his stats up. I have AJ's stats up. But like I said, AJ deserves player of the year. He at times had to shadow the number 1 receiver. He was always locked up, matched up with the number 1 receiver. He had tall tasks with the type of receivers that we faced this year. As you can see, Metcalf, he had to face Edwins and Godwin. He had to face Michael Thomas, I believe, 1 game. He had to face, Amari Cooper. He had to face Devontae Adams. He had to face, literally the top of the top, like cream of the crop receivers in the league. He had to face. So shout out to him. He held his own, did pretty well. The Chiefs, literally everybody. Tyreek Hill. So 74 tackles total, 61 solo, 1 interception, and 3 forced fumbles. That's a big one. Most corners don't really get that many forced fumbles, but he's always active, always trying to knock out the ball. And I like that about him. I like his grit. like his tenacity. I just like him overall. I think he's going to be a big time player for us in years to come. And he solidified and showed that he can be our number one corner. And I liked it. Like I said, I was really hard on him when we first drafted him, and I'm pretty sure just like a lot of other people, he proved them wrong, and showed he's going to be a player and a player for a long time to come in this league. So, congrats. And then most improved player, it could have gone to a few other people as well, but I really liked the way he stepped up, especially when Julio was out and when he just had his overall chances, to be number 2 receiver, or even at times the number 1, with Calvin sometimes being sidelined. So Russell Gage, most improved player, 2020 stats, 72 receptions, 786 yards, 4 TDs, and he averaged 10.9 yards a catch. So, good job to you, Russell Gage. I love the improvement that I've seen so far. Hopefully, I think it's year 3 or 4 next year for him, continue to improve. So, all right. And then we're going to end off the show talking a little bit about the draft. I've done this in a different episode as well, but have to hit on the draft because that's pretty much all the Falcons talk I have left now. Like that's what we have to look forward to. We solidified the number 4 spot in the NFL draft with us, losing our last 5 games, and the Texans winning as well, or not winning, they lost, so they secured the 3rd spot for Miami. And, so we solidified that 4th spot. There's been a lot of talks to a lot of people that's supposed to be going at this spot. And I'm not liking the talk at all. I seen Zach Wilson in a mock draft. That's disgusting to me. A lot of people are wanting Fields now based off of the game that he had versus Clemson. Some people will say, don't judge one person off of one game. And the other's going to be like, what else do you got to go based off of? Like he's ascending. That's the last game he's played. You want that type of guy. A lot of people in Atlanta and a lot of people outside Atlanta are just looking to, replace Matt. They're saying we should trade him, or we should just draft. I don't know if it's like a Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts type situation, but draft the guy to our guess if he's not playing up to par. Bring him in, throw him into the fire, kind of. And I'm never for that. I hate when teams just throw quarterbacks into the fire in the midst of the season, in the middle of a game. That's just terrible in my opinion. You just set them up for failure. So I'm not agreeing with that. I still don't think we should be going quarterback at this pick at all. I don't care if Justin Fields there. I don't care who's there, Zach Wilson. The only person I would maybe be like, all right, we should go for him at that spot would be Lawrence, but obviously he's not going to be there. So any other quarterback, I feel like we can. There's people that's been saying there's going to be quarterbacks that's throughout the rest of this draft. Mac Jones, I don't really trust Alabama quarterbacks, but Mac Jones has had a great year. Kyle Trask has shown he's capable. He's a baller. There's still Trey Lance. We don't have too much film on him, especially this year, but another guy that's what Atlanta people have been wanting, a mobile guy that got a strong arm. And a few other names as well that's going to be in the draft. So we don't for sure have to have Justin Fields or Lawrence if we're looking to have a quarterback that's going to come in and learn under Matt anyway. So I'm just not all for, throwing our first overall pick, our 4th pick at a quarterback this upcoming year, especially when we have so much to take care of on the defensive side of the ball. We need another edge rush. Like I said earlier in the show, Dante Fowler is not a number 1 rush guy. He's undersized. He's more like an outside linebacker type rusher. So we can't rely on him to be our number 1 rush guy. We still need help on the defensive line. We still need help a little bit in the secondary as well. Especially we need veteran type guys, but we just need help probably free safety slot. And that number 2 corner, we have to solidify that. I don't think Sheffield, Isaiah Oliver, he's not number 2 corner. Sheffield, I don't think is either. I feel like we've been playing him out of position a little bit. I think he's more so of a slot guy, especially like in nickel packages and stuff like that. So maybe we solidify that 2 spot, and really just focus on the defensive side of the ball. We have offensive pieces. We're building on that side of the ball. Probably we need another running back. Obviously, I don't think Todd's coming back. Brian Smith's not really a number 1 guy. Ito Smith's really undersized. He's a change of pace type back. So, go in that direction, but obviously later rounds, probably 3rd or 4th. I know we have 6 overall draft picks this year, and I'm hoping with the first 3, we're spending 2 of them at least on defense. I don't have a graphic of it up or at all, but the guys that I've been seeing, and specifically one, mock draft, it probably got me too excited. It's probably not even going to happen, honestly, but we got mocked. The first pick was supposed to be, Greg Rousseau from Miami, set out this year, but ACC Defensive Player of the Year last year. Big guy, like 6'7", 260 something, raw athlete, just shoes off the page. With some coaching, I think he'll be really good for us. And will help solidify that defensive line. With the second round pick, instead was supposed to get Asante Samuel Jr. And then with the third round pick, Najee Harris. That right there would make my day. That would make my year. I feel like that instantly makes us better. But like I said, it's probably like a fantasy dream. Mock drafts. Probably somebody from Atlanta that made that mock draft, because I don't know. Especially if Najee Harris has a big national championship game, there's no way he's going third round. Like, no way. He's solidified. He may go in the first, solidified second for sure. But yeah, if we got those three guys, like I said, that would make my year. Like I said, 2 on defense, 1 on offense, and it's hitting the needs that we need. Defensive line, cornerback, running back. And I feel like those are our top 3 needs at the moment. So hopefully that's the direction we go. Like I said, kind of is predicated on what we're doing with Matt, what we may possibly do with Julio, who we bring in as our head coach and our GM, and, just the changes that overall are going to be made. But overall, I guess 2020, like I said, I'm glad we're done with it. I'm glad it's through. We can look forward to the draft and everything in April. Hopefully, like I said, we bring in some guys with these six picks that can immediately come in and produce for us. Like I said, we saw it this year. Mikael Walker, AJ Terrell, they were able to do that. Still looking forward to big things from Marlon Davidson. I think that is going to eventually show to be a steal where we got him at when he's healthy and able to play. Gets another year under his belt. And yeah, overall, I'm excited for the future. Excited that I don't have to relive 2020 again. Excited that we're just on to better things. Hopefully, with a new regime, new coaching staff, new everything. No more dirt cutter, cookie cutter offense, and just trying to have a positive outlook for the future. And I think there are things that can happen with this team that can be positive. We can get back into the winning column, and we can get back into relevancy in the NFL again. Hopefully not be made of a joke too much more these upcoming years. So overall, I'm excited. Thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for watching these shows with me, whether you're an Atlanta Falcons fan or not. I appreciate Steven, for commenting, always looking out for me and my well-being, my mental health, being a Falcons fan. Thank you to Off the Ball Network. Thank you to those guys over there. Falcons fans, Falcon Nation, appreciate y'all for tuning in. And like I said, there's brighter days ahead. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me for this year, for the first season of the Atlanta Falcons Fly Through. We'll be back better and stronger next year, hopefully as a team and me as a podcaster and me and this whole show in general. So, but appreciate everybody for tuning in. You kind of already know where to find me at. You see right here, Instagram, What the Game Means to Me, Facebook, What the Game Means to Me, and at Twitter at WTG MTM Podcast. I'm also on TikTok as well as of lately. So you can follow me there at JelaniB.WTGMTM Podcast as well. Appreciate you, Steven. As always, probably will see you later. See some of y'all as well later too, because I will be doing my Atlanta Hawks Fly Through. Excuse me. We're moving from the NFL to the NBA now, so I'll be doing my Atlanta Hawks Fly Through, talking about these blown leads that they're doing as well. Falconing up the NBA. So we'll be talking about them a little bit with the Hoopers about 2-3 hours. So tune in for that as well. Again, appreciate everybody. Stay safe. If you're in Georgia, you still got about 30 minutes to vote. So go out and do that as well. Appreciate everyone, and see you guys later. Have a good one.